welcome to another episode of Author Fan Face Off. We've got one great author, one great fan, get them together to talk about one great book by the author, and we find out who knows more. I'm Steve Sheinkin, and of course, you know, the co-host of the show is the leaping librarian, Stacey Rattner.
Hello.
And our guest today, the great Dan Gemeinhart, coming to us from Washington, right? Washington State?
Washington State. Yep,
We're going to talk about Coyote Sunrise today. And what that book is, so what, 2019? So is it fairly fresh in your mind?
Sure.
I mean, that must mean, you know, the way books work, that must mean you finished it at least a year before that. And
right.
And really the ideas for it would have come years before that.
Yep, I think I finished it in December 2017. So it's been a little while.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Great. Well, you got a good challenger. I know she's read it more recently than that. And Stacey will do the intros there.
Awesome. So excited to introduce Allie. She's a fifth grader from New York, and she read the book. Her teacher read the book aloud to her class last year when she was in fourth grade. She loved it so much she's read it at least a couple more times since then. So Allie loves to cook and bake, and really into the creative cooking process of just a little something here and there and see what comes of that. So we're really excited to have Allie with us today. So let's get started, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. I'm going to ask the first question, and that first question goes to Allie. When Coyote gets a kitten, she names him after the main character of her favorite book. What is the book?
The One and Only Ivan.
All right. Awesome. And then Dan, in the opening scene, Coyote buys a boy a slushie. Against her advice, he picks this flavor.
Watermelon. Big mistake.
You feel strongly about that, or she does, rather.
Yes, we both do.
Yeah, I would have thought it would be delicious, but no, I was wrong. All right, Allie, what do Coyote and Rodeo name their bus?
Jaeger.
Yeah, and there's a description of how that name comes to be. This isn't really part of the question, but do you remember that part?
Voyager Day School.
Yeah, okay. Now I know what kind of expert I'm dealing with. I just wanted to. Yeah. It used to be that, and he scraped off some of the words.
That's right. Way to go, man.
Yeah, that's impressive. That's really impressive. All right, Dan. Coyote tells Rodeo she has a, quote, a dead dream, which we can go into what that means, but that's not the question here. She needs to get to Montana so she can get this particular food item.
It is a pork chop sandwich from Pork Chop John's in Butte, Montana.
Okay, so now we have two great experts here. I can see that.
That's a real place and a real sandwich, and it's delicious, by the way.
So it would be worth driving thousands of miles to go try?
It'd be worth pulling off the highway.
Okay. All right, Allie, why does Coyote need to get back to her old neighborhood in Washington State?
Because they're tearing down the park where her and her sisters and her mom buried a memory box.
Right. And so we don't like to give too much away about the book, but that's basically the journey. The gist of the book is that they're taking this journey to get back to that park before they tear it down. Great job. You're doing awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Dan. Lester really wants to get to this city.
Oh no, it's happening because I changed it like 6 times in the final draft. Boise, Idaho is the right answer.
Okay.
It's a journey story, and so I was always playing with the map and playing with the timeline to make sure that where they were going made sense and what would they see along the way and would they get there too soon. And so I was constantly, all the little places they stop, I was changing those all the time as I kind of figured out the time and how the story should work. I'm right? It's Boise, Idaho?
Yes,
Nice.
yeah.
Right.
That's interesting. Yeah. We've done a couple of kind of road trip type stories, and we always ask the author. We had Dan Gutman in the Genius Files, who was going west coast to east. We did Nick Stone, It's Clean Getaway, across the South. did she? And had made the trip, to see these places. It seems like that would have been a really important part of the research, the creative process to pick the geography of
right. And it could be just something you think is interesting, or a place you've been, you wanted to give a shout out to, or sometimes the story kind of drives those decisions. Like I said, like, oh, well, where are they? If this needs to happen in 8 hours, where would they be 8 hours from where they started last time? And so it's a mix of kind of being creative and doing what you want to do, but also like trying to make it, no one's going to get on Google Maps and check your work probably, but you want to make it be believable.
I bet they will for a book like this. I bet they will. All right, Allie. What instrument does Salvador play?
The flute.
No, he has an instrument with him that he plays. It's not a flute. You want to take another try?
The violin.
Yeah, the violin.
Yeah,
I kind of think,
good.
he knew that. Yeah. And I'm going to stick with Salvador. It's such a great character. And he does mention his favorite book. Dan, do you know what his favorite book is?
Yes. His favorite book is also one of my favorite books, which is Ghost by Jason Reynolds.
Right. Times two. I agree. That's one of my favorite books too.
Sure.
All right. You guys are tied.
Jason Reynolds gets mentioned a lot too.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah, rightfully so.
All right, Allie. I love this. I love this little bit. What favor does Tammy ask in exchange for fixing Jaeger's brakes?
To bring Gladys to her home.
Yeah.
And who is Gladys, if I may ask?
The goat.
The goat, yeah.
Yeah.
That's an important addition.
Right. I love all the characters. I love everyone on the bus. I love how it all comes together and where they're all picked up along the way. And it's all great. It was so great for me to reread it again and cry again. And, I love doing this so I could reread these books. All right, Dan. And I love this part. Before Rodeo will agree to take on a passenger, he asked them these 3 questions. What are they?
They are, where is your favorite place in the whole world? What is your favorite book? Other way around. And what is your favorite sandwich?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Did those change in the writing? Did you have different combinations?
Let me think back. I don't think so. I kind of came up with that idea fairly randomly, and I wasn't sure I was going to like, a lot of writing is kind of trying things out and seeing if you like it. I liked how it kind of broke up the story a little bit and gave us kind of a unifying element, and it gave us a chance to kind of see some things about the characters. But I think those are pretty much the same. I probably played around with it a little bit when I first came up with the idea, but for the most part, those were the 3 questions.
Excellent. All right. I knew you guys would be, as soon as we started, I knew you guys were going to get these all right. There's one bonus question, and I like it because it's about Coyote's philosophy. I mean, this book is her story and her voice. So I'm just going to give you a quote from her, and I want you to fill in the missing word. The blank is actually at the beginning. She says, "Blank is a lot like parking lot cigarette butts, always there if you look hard enough." What is that first word? Any guesses, Allie?
And this one could be for either of you.
Okay, that's a hard one.
It is.
I know what it is. I bet Allie can come up with that.
Yeah.
I hope that she comes up with the right answer. I really hope you can remember it, Allie.
Hope.
Yeah.
Nice. Way to go.